What's up guys, today we're gonna continue with our Spotify clone, and we will probably finish the clone today actually, and we will just be styling the music player because that's what's left. And yeah, let's do this. Okay, so if we go into our we can actually collapse these because we don't need them, and go into the music player.css file which we created in the previous videos. We will essentially type .music player correctly music player, and inside of here we want to have a width of 100%. We also want can I just save that? Okay, nice. A padding of 10 pixels. So we're gonna add some space within the div. We also want a display of flex. And the flex direction will be by default flex or by default row. That's very good. Now we want to style the song image. So just type .music player .song image. And inside of here we want a width of 120 pixels, and for us to actually see how the song image is, we will actually press on this. So as you guys can see, this is the song image, and this is essentially the image inside of the song image div. So we will style that a bit later. But anyways, we want to have a min width of 120 pixels as well. We also want to have a height of 120 pixels. We want to have a border radius of 12 pixels. No, 10 pixels actually. And we want to have an overflow of hidden, so we don't have any scroll bars inside of the div. And boom, as you guys can see, we actually decreased the image here. We will resize the image as well later. And we also want to add a box size here. Or box shadow, I mean, not size. Shadow, which is gonna be 0 pixels, 0 pixels, 20 pixels, and color of RGBA, which is gonna be a black, so it's 0, 0, 0, and 0.4, because it's gonna be a bit transparent as well. So if we save that, we will have a box shadow. You probably can't see it, but I can. And that's because you watched the video. So now we want to style the image inside the song image. So you simply just type .musicplayer.song image and then just image. And here we want to have a width and height of 100%. So it's essentially lining out as the same height and width that the song image has, and boom, now it's a bit stretched. So we will fix that by doing object fit cover. Nice. Okay, now we want to style the song attributes. So it's .musicplayer.song attributes. And inside of here we want to have a width of 100%. We also want to have a padding of left. If we save that, nothing happens, that's fine. We want to have a padding of left. And this is going to be 20 pixels. So we will move the icons to the right a bit, or actually the whole music player. And we also want to have a display of flex here, so they essentially line up. And the reason why the icon doesn't line up is because they're inside of another div, so we will change that later. We also want to have a flex direction of column, so the icons will line up, but the bar will actually not. We also want to have align item center, so it's center in the div, and very nice. And we also want to have a justify content of center, I think, yeah. It's not gonna be space between, it's gonna be center. Oh my god. Thank you. Nice. Okay, so let's style the top and the bottom, which is gonna be the positioning of the different icons essentially. So .musicplayer.song attributes .top, and also do the same thing plus bottom. And yeah, I can just type tab here. but you will essentially write this. And inside of here we want to add a color, so we're gonna style the color, and this is gonna be a hexadecimal value, which is gonna be 59, 59, 59. And that's gonna be a gray color. If you save that, nothing happens, that's fine. Font size is gonna be it's actually gonna be space between these. If I save now, they will change anything. Okay, interesting. Anyways, the font size is gonna be 16 pixels, and we also want to have semicolon here, and it's gonna be an N here. Nice. Now they change, perfect. And we also want to have a cursor of pointer, so when we hover it, the mouse is gonna be a pointer. So if we say that, I will hover these icons, and in fact, the cursor will be a pointer. Very nice. Okay, so let's style the middle and the left. And essentially what we can do is inside of top and bottom. Or actually, it's just the top. So what we want to do is copy that and do dot left, and we can paste that again and do dot middle, just like that. And inside of here we want to have a display of flex as well. Flex and align items center, so it centers everything inside of the div. Nice. And now we want to fix the love button or the heart, because it happens nothing when we hover it, and we will also animate that as well. Okay, so what we want to do now is essentially just copy .musicplayer.song attributes .top, and left actually. We want to copy this whole thing here and do loved. And inside of here we want to style the color, and this is gonna be hexadecimal value of 49E12E, and this is also gonna be important because we want to override the normal color, and we don't want to do that. Nice. And we also want to add a filter drop shadow, and I can't type apparently, or just a filter actually with a drop shadow. And in here we're gonna have a 0 pixels, 0 pixels, and 0 pixels, and then actually this is gonna be 4 pixels, I think, yeah. And this is gonna be a hexadecimal value of 49E12E. Nice. So now it's actually glowing as well. That's really good. Now we want to style the download button, which is gonna be the icon to the right of the love button, and we can essentially just copy this whole line here and do dot download, just like that. And so inside of here we just want to add a padding of left, so it's gonna push things to the right. Nice. Now we want to style the individual icons. So what we want to do is we can actually copy this line of code here and just type dot back I, and we also want to do the same thing with the forward. So I'm gonna put a comma here and copy this. Actually, I just want to copy this and do that dot forward and I. And here we want to add a margin to margin with a small n, which is gonna be 0 pixels and 25 pixels. Just like that, so they move a bit. Very nice. Now we want to style the individual child, and what we can do essentially is just copy this whole thing here, right here. And now we're gonna change something, so it's gonna be colon nth child, and this is gonna be 2. And we will do the same thing as for the forward as well. So it's gonna be nth child and 2. And we also want to add end parentheses here. For some reason we get an error, maybe because I put the wrong parentheses. Very nice. Okay, and this is just gonna be a color of a hexadecimal value, which is gonna be 9A, 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 and this is also gonna be important. Nice. And now we want to style the play pause button, which is gonna be this button right here. This is gonna have we can actually just copy this line of code here and type dot play pause, just like that. And here we want to have a width of 30 pixels and a min width of 30 pixels as well. 30 pixels. We also want to have a height of 30 pixels. We want to have a border radius of 100%. That doesn't really change anything, that's fine. The background color is gonna be a white color, so we will do hashtag FFF. We also want to have a display flex here. We also want to have a justify content, which is gonna be center, and we also want to have align item center. Align items center. And that's pretty much it for the play pause button. Now we want to style the icon in the play pause button, and we can essentially copy this whole line here and do I here and the right, and not a dot. And in here we just want to set a color, which is gonna be a color black. Nice. I think that's correct. Yep, that's correct. Now I want to style the bottom, so we can type dot music player dot song attributes dot bottom, and in here we want to add a margin of top, and this is gonna be 20 pixels. Nice. Now I want to style the progress bar, and inside of here that is in fact in the bottom, so we're gonna copy this whole line here. And this is actually incorrect here. This should be music player, like that. And as you guys can see, the bar actually dropped down a bit. That's pretty much what we want. Now we can copy this whole line here and do dot progress bar, just like that. And the width is gonna be 70%. And it didn't correct, so we will do it manually. Nice. And the position is also going to be relative, and the reason we want the relative is because we're going to have an animation to it, and we will essentially create a new element inside of the progress bar, which is going to have a position of absolute, so we need position relative to do that. The height is going to be 5 pixels. And if you say that, the progress model in fact gets smaller. Very, very nice. I will also remove this scroll bar here, but I will do that later. And we're gonna have an outline of none, because we don't want to have the outline here. And we also want to change the appearance to none as well. So we don't have any styling to it, we want to style it by ourselves. We also want to have a border radius of 10 pixels as well. And we're gonna fix a background color, which is gonna be in RGBA styling. Or in RGBA styling. So it's gonna be a background and then RGBA, and this is gonna be 255, 255, 255, and 0.1. So it's gonna be a darker gray, so to speak. And now we want to do this, do the animation, and this depending on what type of browser you use, and we're gonna style it for the Chrome and Safari and Firefox as well, and Chrome, Safari, and Firefox, which is pretty much the default browsers you use. So how do we do this? This is actually quite complicated if you don't know how CSS styling works, but I will try to explain it as good as possible. So this will essentially create an element inside of the progress bar that we will animate. And the reason, and we will also set this to position absolute, and this is why we want position relative here. And this is a standard thing you have to do, and you have to do this, otherwise you will get an error. You just want to have a content of an empty string. You can also type something in there, and then it will display a text essentially. But anyways, the top is gonna be 0 and the left is gonna be 0. We also want to have a background color of 84, 84, 84, 84, 84, 84. So it's gonna be a gray. And we also want to have a width, and we're gonna use a variable here. This is gonna be played with. I wonder if this is in fact created. Yep, never mind. Great. The height is gonna be 100%. And we want to have a semicolon here. And the border radius should be 10 pixels. Radius. Just like that, and it's gonna be 10 pixels. Just like that. And the C index is gonna be 2, which means that the element will in fact be on top of the scroll bar or the progress bar. And transition should be, which is going to be an animation on width, and this is going to be 250 milliseconds, and it's going to be linear. So what happens if we drive? Okay, nothing happens, that's totally fine. Now we want to do this with a WebKit slider thumb, and how do we do that? It's actually quite simple. Just copy this line of code here and type --WebKit. It's actually not gonna be a dash, it's gonna be a dash WebKit WebKit slider thumb, just like that. And here we want to have a WebKit appearance, so it's -WebKit -appearance, and this is gonna be none. We also want to have a width of 15 pixels, a height of 15 pixels as well. We also want to have a border radius of 50%. We also want to have a border of none, so we remove the border in total. We also want to have a cursor of pointer. We also want to have a position of relative here, just like that. And we're gonna add a margin to it as well, so it's gonna be -2 pixels, and it's gonna be 0, 0, 0. We can have a Z index of 3, and the box sizing is gonna be border box. And we want to add a transition here as well. So this is going to be all 250 milliseconds and linear as well. Nice. Now we're going to do it for the Firefox web browser. So what you want to do here is essentially copy this line of code here and do -mouse range track. And the width here is going to be 100%. We also want to have a height of 5 pixels. We want to have an outline, which is going to be none. Appearance here is going to be 0, or none actually. And we're going to have a border radius of 10 pixels. And a background color, or a background, which is going to be a RGBA color, which is going to be 255, 255, 255, and 0.1. Nice. Now we want to do the range progress, and I can probably just do that and type -mouse range progress, just like that. And the background here is gonna be a hexadecimal value, which is gonna be 84, 84, 84. We also want to have a width of the variable we created. It's gonna be I don't think we have created the variable yet, so I will probably check more into that as well. And that's probably why nothing changes. That's fine. It's gonna be played with. We also want to have a height of 100%. Border radius of 10 pixels. We also want to have a C index of 2, and the transition is gonna be width of 250 milliseconds, and this is gonna be linear as well. Now I want to do the most range thumb. I will probably just paste that here and do dot most range thumb. And here we want to have the most appearance of none. We want to have the width is gonna be 15 pixels. The width is spelled wrong. Nice. We also want to have a height of 15 pixels as well. The border radius should be of 50%. The border should be none as well. And cursor should be pointer. And position is gonna be relative. And margin is gonna be minus 2 pixels since it's 0, 0, 0. The C index is gonna be of 3. We also want to have a box sizing of border box, and the transition is gonna be of all 250 milliseconds linear. Nice. Now we want to style the current time and the duration as well. So what we want to do is type dot music player dot song attributes dot bottom dot current time, and we also want to do the same thing for the duration, so we can do that and just type duration here instead, and add an end bracket to this also. Nice. And inside of here we want to have the color of a white, so it's gonna be F1, 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 and this is gonna be hexadecimal color as well, so it's gonna be F1, F1, F1. We also want to have a font size of 12 pixels, and the font weight is gonna be bold. So the font weight is gonna be bold, just like that, and we're gonna type 2 colons, F1. Now I want to style the current time, and as you guys can see, we actually changed the progress bar and the time up here as well. So as you guys can see, when we scroll this down, boom, it actually changes, and this is the total time of the song. Nice. Okay, so beneath this we want to style the current time and the duration individually, because they are gonna have some different margins to them. So we can just copy this and do margin right, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 20 pixels. And we also want to do this for the duration as well, but that is gonna be if I save this, it's actually fine. We also want to do this for the duration, but this is gonna be a margin left of 20 pixels. Boom. Did I style that correctly? I think I did, yeah. Now I want to add some media queries. So we're gonna do media, screen, and max width. Max width is gonna be 550 pixels. Oh, not that. Jesus, dude. 550 pixels, and inside of here we want to do certain things. We want to style the current time first, so it's gonna copy that line. And in here we want to have a margin right of 0 pixels. We also want to change the duration, so we can just copy this here and do margin left, which is gonna be 0 as well. Boom. And we want to do this for the forward and back icon, so we can scroll up a bit and probably copy this whole line of code here. So we're gonna go down to the media query and paste that, just like that. And inside of here we want to have a margin, just a normal margin with 0 and 5 pixels. We also want to change the progress bar a bit, so we're gonna scroll up here. I can actually just copy this instead. Let's copy that line of code, go down here, go to progress, paste that, and the width is gonna be 110 pixels. Nice. And now it's the last media query, so it's gonna be media, screen, and this is gonna be min width, and this is also gonna be 550 pixels, and we're gonna add a max width as well. So we're gonna type and again, and the max width, and this is gonna be 1080 pixels. And inside of here, we just want to change the .music player .song image, and this is going to have a width of 100 pixels and a min width of 100 pixels as well. That's going to be none. It's going to be 100 pixels, and we also want to have a height of 100 pixels. That's all the styling for the player button. So if I extend this, the player button looks a bit funky. Maybe it's because we either spelled something wrong or just spelled something wrong. So I will check on that right now. I'm just gonna scale this back a bit, something like that. I will actually first look at this scroll bar here, because we can scroll up and down. We can actually, it's song. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so what I wanna do is essentially maybe move this down a bit, because if we go to the inspector and check on, this is the song attribute, so it's the music player, and if we check its height, if I move this bit down, it's actually quite large. I might be able to move, do this instead. Let's see, do that. Nice. I think that's a bit weird, but that's totally fine. So if we go to music play, it's down here, and I might actually want to move this a bit down. So let's go up to the music player here and do position absolute here, absolute, boom, and the bottom, we're gonna have a bottom of 0, so it moves down a bit, and if we remove that, this looks in fact a lot better. Now we want to see if we can fix these icons here. I will also remove this as well, because this is not correct. We can actually scroll, as you guys can see, but I want this to be down to the bottom here. So let's go and do that. That is the styling inside of the main container. So let's go to the main container here, and this is probably audio list. So we're gonna style the here. So what if I set height to 50 view height, for example? See if that changes anything. Maybe it's not the audio list. Maybe it's the song container, or what it's called. Let's see. Song container is here. Okay, it's the song container. So the height is 220 pixels. Let's change that to 400, for example. Now we have all the songs. That's really good. It's actually a bit too large. So let's change that to 375 pixels. And I will also remove this scroll bar. So we can do overflow X hidden. Boom. No, that should be gone. That looks a lot better already. I will actually set this height to 350 pixels, so it's not inside of this, and that looks really good. If I extend this, how does it look? It's alright, I guess. I think I will change. I personally want to have no scroll bar here at all. So I might change that. I think that is in, let's see if I scale it back. Because I don't want to be able to scroll down here. So what we can do is essentially go to the app.js and see, okay, it's the app we want to change. Go to app.css, min height is 100 view height, but we want to change that to just height. Let's just do that. And now I can't scroll. That's really good, but the other components are in fact too large. So this is essentially the left menu, so let's go and check that. Let's see what happens if we do that. That doesn't really change anything. What if I change this to maybe 90%? Does that change anything? It doesn't. Let's see if I'm changing the correct components. If I hover this, that's fine. Okay, whatever. So let's see. This is the left menu, and if we check here, the width. Let's just expand this a bit. So if I remove that, nothing happens. If I remove that, nothing happens. Interesting. Let's see. If I remove that, we change back the color. So it's obviously this. That's okay. Let's do this then. If I go in here and comment out nope, never mind. Remove this essentially and just set this to 100 view height instead. Maybe it's not the left menu. Maybe it is this thing here. Maybe it's the track list is down there. Playlist container, whatever. Let's minimize this a bit. Okay, so it's the track list. Let's see. This works out pretty nice. App.css background is position absolute. That's totally fine. Position relative, hidden display flex. That's fine. Left menu is here. We don't set any height here. Search box. It's obviously this box here. Menu container. No height here. Let's see where we set the height in this code. So, press Ctrl F and see. Let's say playlist scroll. That's fine. That's fine. Track list bottom. That's the input, so that's fine. That's correct. That's correct. No, left menu. I think left menu is too. You know what? I will change that back. Let's have a scroll here. So we're gonna go back to app.css and just do it in height, just like that. Now we have scroll again. It seems a little bit wanky or weird. Let's see if this is the. Nope, that's not what I wanted to check. Okay, this is the main container. So let's see. Main container. It's a lot of code in here. Let's go up here. Height is 100 view height. Let's set this to 110. Now it's moving down. That's too much. Set this to 105. That's a bit right, I think. If I extend this and check, yeah, that's correctly. I can remove the inspector. We still have a scroll here. I would preferably not be able to scroll here, but that's fine. Let's have it there. I'm gonna check if I've styled the because this is essentially I will scale it back. I will see if I have styled the tracklist bottom correctly, because this is the tracklist bottom, right? It's actually just a tracklist. Okay, so let's see if I styled the tracklist correctly. Let's go to leftmenu.css and search for tracklist and see if I actually have styled that correctly. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we have that, and this is obviously the icons inside. Let's see what that is. That is SVG inside the icon, and this is the track list bottom. Okay, so it's a bottom icon. Let's see here. Left menu. Tracklist top, tracklist bottom icon here. So it's on line 227. Let's see. Yeah, I have not styled that, so let's do that. I've actually styled that, never mind. But it is the hover effect that I haven't styled. Okay. So let's do that. So what we want to do is copy this line of code here. And the column hover, and here we want to have a color of white, just like that, and I also want to have a transition of 0.3 seconds, and the cursor is gonna be pointer. So if I remove that and hover these icons, they in fact turn white. I also want to have them in some sort of gray or white, because all the other icons is in fact gray or white. So let's do that. So we can do here and just set the color. It should be, I think it's 84, 84, 84, I think. Yeah, this looks a lot better. If I drag this out and scale, that doesn't really change. I think that's fine. Let's add some margin to them. So we're gonna go here to the icons and add a margin. Margin just like that, have a 0 and maybe like 3 pixels or something. So it's okay. That okay. Let's change the left menu size then, so it gets a bit wider. So width is 200. Let's set that to 250. That looks a lot better. I can probably increase the margin as well. So let's do that. It's here. Bottom tracklist, bottom I hover. Nice. Let's set this to 5. Yeah, let's set this to 3 again. But that is not in fact. Let's see. It's the SVG inside of the I. It's gonna be bottom I. For some reason, this doesn't really change. Display none. Family. Maybe it is because I have. Let's go to the left menu here, and it's gonna be the track list. Inside of the track list, we have bottom, and it's an I. This seems quite correct, actually. Yep. Okay, so it's bottom and I. Let's see. Yep, that's correct. Color margin. Let's do this instead. Let's do margin left and set this to 5 pixels. Let's see. Okay, it's because the tracklist bottom actually is too small in width size. So let's change this back to 5 and change the bottom. The bottom is somewhere here. I think we might actually haven't styled that. Let's see if this is in fact. We haven't styled that. Okay, let's do that. So copy that line and do paste it here and just type width is gonna be 100%. I think that's fine. Yep. Okay, so that's done. Let's fix the icons here because they are somewhat wacky, and this is inside the main container. Let's go down a bit. Menu list, audio list here. We actually want to go to music player. So it's not inside main container, but music player. My bad. So let's go to the eyes, which is here. We're gonna have a margin. And this is in fact, where do we set the color green? It's loved and download, that's fine. Maybe this is in fact correct, but we can add some space between the icons. So let's do that. For some reason, let's do that. Move up. Let's move this a bit up because it's looking weird. Nice. Okay, so okay, that looks pretty decent. Okay, so you might actually want to add some margin to this. So let's set this to 4 pixels maybe, and see if this changes anything. Actually, we might want to set this to 0. I think that's actually fine. But let's do the because these are inspector. These are in fact the eye in the play pause. So it's in here. Let's add a margin, which is gonna be 4 pixels and 0 pixels. I think that's fine. Yeah, okay. So let's test this out. I think we haven't really changed that. We have to style this as well. This is gonna be the P tag and the text and the span. So the text essentially is in fact not. We haven't styled the icon and the text. Okay, let's do that. So it's in menu list P. So let's go to menu list P, and that is in main container CSS. So let's go to that. And we can actually just search for it. So it's dot menu lists dot p. We haven't styled that at all. So let's do that. Paste that here. And it's actually not dot p. It's gonna be p. Let's see if that is in fact exists. It does. Okay, great. Let's go here and remove that. I just typed and go down to this segment of code. So the color here is gonna be white for some reason, and that's totally fine. And we style the P and I, and the I here is gonna be white as well. I personally want it white, so let's do that. And it doesn't change for some reason. Let's see, inspector, menu list P. It seems like the P is not inside menu list, so let's go and check that. So we go to menu list here, and that is fine, but it is inside the main container. So let's go there, which is here. Maybe it's not here for some reason. It's in menu list, home, blah blah blah. That's fine. We set the menu list. It doesn't set menu list inside of here. Let's see if I missed something here. Let's go to components and then go to main container and see if menu list in fact is there. It's signed there. Okay, nice. So let's go to main container. It's gonna be inside here, and it is in fact this here. So it's main container. Okay, so it's not dot menu list, it's dot main container. So let's see that. So it's dot main container P, and the color here is that should be fine. And the I should, for some reason this really, it's because it's dot menu list, which I don't think it should be. It should be that. No, it should not. So we haven't styled that. Okay, let's do that then. So type dot main container. Main container. This is main container. Main container p. And this is gonna be a color of F1, F1, F1. Boom, they are white, and we also want to add. I might actually want to add a class name here because it will change the other ones. So let's say followers. Like that, and go in here. Instead of p, we want to have dot followers. Yep, that looks great. And inside of the dot followers, we want to add some margin to the icon. So this should be margin right, which is gonna be 5 pixels. Boom. Let's say 10 pixels. And I'm also gonna add inside of this a display flex as well. This should probably not change anything. Change a bit, that's fine. And we want to have align item center. So they are in fact in the center. That looks great. Okay, so let's see if I press this here. We have chosen that song, and I press this button here. Will it sound so? Yeah. So let's see. I wonder if you guys. I will change the volume here a bit. It's quite loud actually. So I will change my OBS settings so you guys can hear. Brace for impact, because this is gonna be super loud. Yeah. Let's change the volume on my headset. Yeah, it's super loud. So as you guys can see, it works, and I can also change to another song and play that. And if I go to song name 5, boom. And I can pause the playlist and do that again. I can press this button here, I think, or actually this button. Never mind. I can play that song. So there you go. We have actually created our own Spotify front-end development, and you can play songs. Now, the thing you guys can actually do to improve this is essentially create a backend that connects everything to a server where you store all the songs, so you can essentially play this online. And that's not something I'm gonna show you guys because it's quite advanced. So yeah, the music player is in fact, or the Spotify clone is in fact done here. So if you guys enjoyed that content and want to see more, then please stay tuned to the channel. I will also post the total source code down in the description, and you guys can download it and also play around with it and edit all the things I just coded, and that's totally up to you, and you're free to use this as to your portfolio or your website. There's no copyright in this code. You guys can use it for your free use, and I don't really care how you use it. It's totally up to you. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, then please stay tuned to the channel and have a great day.